What's up, visitors? Tank here, and guess what? Living up to false promises? Pfft, why doing that? I'm finally making a video on this anyways. Yeah, I got one comment about it. Supply and demand here, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Back in August of 2019, wow, was that long ago? Universal held a press conference with the caption of "Something epic is coming." Was it that epic? No. The conference could be the equivalent of the chairman of Universal Creative going on a stage and saying, "Hey everyone, we have another park coming soon called Epic Universe. Here's a piece of art and goodbye." The community was excited, but no release date was announced yet. But the piece of concept art had incredible detail that some insiders claim that it fit with the plans they've been seeing. So in the end, the art gave way more details than the actual announcement. It didn't take long for people to figure out what lands will be featured, as within hours, people came to the conclusion that the 4 lands were Nintendo, Monsters, Fantastic Beasts, and How to Train Your Dragon. Also a hub most likely themed to the environment of space, with a hotel at the back of the park. Let's go over the park and some deep details most might have missed. The first land is the world of adventures from the digital realm, Mario and Friends. Super Nintendo World is looking to be a carbon copy of the land that was going to be put in Kids Zone, with the Mario Kart experience and Yoshi's Adventure Omnimover attraction. I made a video a few months back about the land and some of its possible attractions, but just so you don't have to click away, I'm gonna sum it up for you. The Mushroom Kingdom segment of Super Nintendo World features 2 rides, a quick service restaurant, a possible meet and greet area, and at least one shop with an interactive band which can help the immersion go up with a smartphone, where you could battle enemies and even team up with friends in a boss battle. The Mario Kart ride is a dark ride which takes guests on a grand tour of the world of the Mushroom Kingdom. The ride queue takes guests through Bowser's Castle on the 2nd level, which leads down to the loading station on the 1st floor. All of the ride is on the 1st floor, which is a part of this ginormous building. The ride vehicles look to be a car ride vehicle, surprise, which, going by concept art and patents, it looks to feature 4 per vehicle, with 2 in each row, connected to a swivel piece to simulate drifting. Not to mention other illusions like simulated speed, warp tunnels, other racers, and even augmented reality. Complex web of systems that all rely on each other to work, which could make a breakdown and occasion of migraines. As seen with Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, if one effect doesn't work, the entire ride can be considered broken without it. The second ride in the Mushroom Kingdom is the Omnimover, Yoshi's Adventure. This dark ride is rumored to feature more than 40 animatronics in this small track. The ride vehicles look to be Yoshi, and the ride track will have a bridge scene which can give you a stunning view of the land. In this ride, you could expect many enemies from almost over 30 years of Mario. The land is looking to also feature indoor areas to represent a cave area from the world of Mario. Most likely just in bathrooms or indoor staircases. Toadstool's Cafe is looking to be a quick service restaurant. But guess what? Super Nintendo World has a second expansion that it didn't mention, Donkey Kong Country. This mini-land right outside of the Mushroom Kingdom is made up of a dense jungle and temple. A gift shop has been made out of Funky Kong's plane, a hut for meet and greets with characters like Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Dixie Kong, and possibly Cranky Kong. What about Chunky?
He's dead.
The main attraction of this land is the Donkey Kong Minecart Madness. It looks not to be anything like a normal roller coaster. The carts are actually connected to a vertical track below, which will be used for a jump scene visible from the outside of the ride. The jump looks to be out of an exploding barrel over a waterfall on the temple. Not much is known about the ride besides this, and using the water as a brake system, like on the Matterhorn bobsleds at Disneyland. I believe that after the jump, the ride will take a thrilling turn, as from that, the ride may not slow down until it hits those water brakes at the end. It looks like an interactive Donkey Kong Rhino is in the land, which maybe a boss or an enemy for you to fight. This Super Nintendo world has an expansion almost the same size of the land itself. We don't know what could go in there, but it looks like The Legend of Zelda is going into Lost Continent at Islands of Adventure, and Pokemon is replacing Kid Zone as well. So that leaves some other ideas, like a possible Luigi's Mansion part, which could feature an interactive ghouly dining experience, and trackless dark ride that could involve a shooting mechanism. A Super Smash Bros. Stage show could happen, but that depends on what the creator Sakurai says and wants. Other games like Animal Crossing, Metroid Prime, F-Zero, Mother/Earthbound, Kirby, and many others could join. Also rumors that this partly connected building could be housed for a small Pokemon-themed restaurant. After decades of dreams and a failed Monsters Cafe, Universal is finally making one of these, a land themed to their classic monsters. So now people like Dracula, the Wolfman, the Mummy, Frankenstein, the Invisible Man, the Creature of the Black Lagoon, and many others will have a land. But we hope that most of them will be walk-around characters. The land is looking to be themed around the village from the classic Frankenstein film, or in the least an old-fashioned European town. Apparently there's a huge difference there. From site plans, we can tell that the outside of the theater space, there's a courtyard-style layout. This could maybe be like a holding space for visitors as they wait for the show to begin, and double as a small seating area. It's looking that this land will feature one ride that will be inside of Frankenstein's castle. The ride system is looking to be a minor upgrade to the crane arm system used in another castle ride, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. We can see that a moat surrounding the castle is there, with drawbridges connecting it to the land. Do expect the moat to feature some sort of water feature, or possibly a small water jets show. It seems that some small statues could be placed at the heads of the drawbridges. A small batch of land behind the castle is left there for expansion. I may be thinking too far ahead of myself, but I think that a Creature of the Black Lagoon would make a good boat ride there. As a moat is placed there already, could work as he might be guarding a passage through the moat. Anyways, this land is looking to be possibly cut from the plans for an overall future expansion if this budget is cut or a huge financial issue arises. So there is still a slim chance of this being cancelled. The land could feature certain areas themed to certain characters, like a Wolfman cookout or something like that. It looks like 3 buildings are laid out on the plans, and also looks that a giant lake will be at the heart of this land. Rumors of a possible walkthrough monster expansion have been flying around, but don't trust them. It would be stupid to imagine Universal Park without the boy who lived. And now we have the spin-off Fantastic Beasts, the not-so-fantastic franchise. And we're only on number 2. Troubles aside, a land for this franchise would be very different, as the movies are all set in different locations around the world, and showing creatures from these areas with a big bad that has no true tie-in to all of this. This land is the only land we don't have a site plan for yet, which I think that means they're probably changing it a little bit. So I won't be surprised if they completely change it. The land is looking to house 2 big main attractions in an enclosed space. The land looks to be themed to Paris, but it seems that all the rides will be inside of this hunk of a junk building. This indoor area may be themed to the French Ministry of Magic, which will be explained when we get into the rides. We could expect some normal shops and dining opportunities outside, but inside may feature some more magical experiences. But the main show is the 2 attractions. One is looking to be a drop tower system and the other a Floo Powder Network ride. Both can be found in patents filed by Universal themselves. It is hard to doubt that these theories are possible. The drop tower ride looks to have the ability to tilt and move on an axis, which could further immerse the guests, as things could happen in the ride that affect the vehicle. I think this ride could be in a way similar to Tower of Terror without the terror. Guests could go up and down at a randomized rate, going through different scenes. Rumors are saying that this ride could be themed around the idea of Newt's creatures escaping their briefcase, prison, and causing havoc. Maybe while the guests are in an elevator going through different levels of the ministry, Then maybe at certain parts a creature may attack the elevator, a feature that was in patents showing that the riders may be wearing augmented reality goggles, which Universal is looking to have it become the new theme park game changer with the Mario Kart ride as they transition it from this to this. This could mean that the ride may use physical sets with some layers of projected technology with the AR goggles. This could be used to add the creatures into the sets, as some of them probably wouldn't work as an animatronic. Even though I'm worried that Universal may ever use AR and make it become their new screen ride technology. This ride also has the same potential for a dueling mode, where it seems that visitors could attack the other ride vehicles in a way with that axis tilt. Then we transition ourselves to the second ride. The next main ride possibly could be Floo Powder coaster style ride. We have received patents for a technology that is hard for me to explain. The ride vehicles are going to be like little transit vehicles, like in Rise of the Resistance or Runway Railway, but not trackless. Instead, it is on a weird track which can be comparable to the Gringotts track. This ride system is connected to a box with a small door in front, which can be taken off by a track above the vehicle. The same method will be used to put the box back on, which will be probably themed to a fireplace, which also will mask the transition between certain scenes. I believe that timing the box to go back on will be difficult, but not impossible. We could expect the queue to take you through the Ministry of Magic in Paris, with the pre-show which will set up the conflict that'll take place throughout the ride. The story may involve Grindelwald and his minions attacking the many ministries of magic around the world. With the Floo Powder system taking you through each one, we could expect the Floo Box, as I call it, to feature many illusions to make it feel like you are being teleported to another location. Floo Box also has a movable door that is moved on a vertical style. You can think that after going through the French ministry, you back into a corner, the Floo Box comes on top of you, you say the magical Floo Powder spell, the flap comes down as the blasting sound of flames rises with an array of flashing green lights. Within a moment or two, the flap lifts up to the next location. I think this is a simple trick, but sometimes the simplest of tricks wow the more people. Moving through the different ministries around the world will probably pack a surprise, as the ride could hold some big scenes heavily influenced by animatronics, which we can maybe even have Newt travel with us, or appear as a character traveling with us using his creatures to defeat the invaders. Currently, this entire land is the most mysterious, as no site plans have been provided, and not much info exists for this land. They should have just done the land themed to London, as that seems more iconic. But once again, Galaxy's Edge takes place on a planet we never knew existed before, even though I'm totally fine with that. Also, a possible future expansion sits near the Fantastic Beasts world. It can maybe be used for an expansion, but I would rather believe that it will instead be for an entirely new land. It's just saved there. But I think the Paris theme is here to stay. Another franchise that I don't know much about anymore. The land is looking to be the kiddie central of the park. Many kiddie rides and a play area. The site plans for this land reveal hardly anything, as before this, the concept art showed pretty much everything. This land is themed to the fictional Isle of Berk from the movie franchise. The land is looking to have a lush habitat, lots of sand, I don't like sand, and water. It seems that the concept art was too good, as it revealed too much. The land seems to have two big attractions with two minor ones and a show. The first ride is a small kiddie coaster that goes around half the land. It looks to have a huge queue though. The coaster may have small thrills, but it looks like it'll have some small indoor scenes, which could maybe be used to, have some small story elements. I would expect this in a thrill level to be in between the Dr. Seuss roller coaster, keep on forgetting its name, and Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. A small flat ride. The flat ride is a Sky Flyer ride. Those ones where you get inside of a little airplane connected to a giant pivotal platform, which rotates you to spin around. The land is looking to feature one of those, but instead of planes, it's dragons. Next to the flat ride is a small kiddie play area. Looks to be bigger than Despicable Me Playground in Hollywood, right outside of the Minion Mayhem ride in Hollywood. We move further down the land to a giant show building. Not much is known, but we can assume that the ride is a flying theater, as alongside the patents for a Fantastic Beasts ride, we got patents for a flying theater ride. It looks like guests may be able to ride on top of dragons and go on an adventure to the hidden world. You will sit on a dragon-style seat, which is connected to a hanger alongside of a bunch of others, which seems to be able to move around. A grand idea that reminds me too much of Flight of Passage. The last attraction is a stage show in this giant show building. It looks that this may house the How to Train Your Dragon show that has been going on tour recently. The show has amazing puppets, animatronics, and effects. The last part of Epic Universe is the hub, which I saved for last. Not because it's that cool or anything. The center hub has a lot of mystery surrounding itself, but we can expect some shops themed to the lands of the park at this entrance area. Most of the buildings around the hub have unknown intentions. We can guess that the hub has a space theme, which doesn't make much sense, as the hotel looks like Atlantis. We also have a fountain. We also have a space dueling coaster, not dueling dragons. Finally, this will be the first Universal Park in Florida, which will have the right to have big fireworks shows. You can expect this and more to open by 2023 at the earliest. Well anyways, Tank here signing off from Discovery Park Studios. Goodbye.